viewer, my name is Hilmi, Zaki, Andhika, and standing next to me is Natanael.
Hello.
Lately, earthquake is happening more and more often. Very great earthquake is happening on average about once a year.
What causes an earthquake? Earthquakes are usually caused by underground rocks breaking, and there is a rapid motion along a fault. When this happens, this release of energy there is what causes the seismic waves to make the ground shake.
Countless lives were lost due to this natural disaster. That is the purpose of this video.
In this video, we will teach you how about what to do when there's an earthquake. Who knows, maybe this video will save life.
Let's get into it then.
Let's start with the first scenario. You are inside a building when suddenly the ground around you starts shaking. When this happens, stay indoors. It is much more safe to stay where you are. Instead, get under a table or desk and cover yourself. Remember, drop, cover, and hold on. Cover your head and torso to protect yourself from falling objects.
However, if there's not a cover in the room, move into the hallway or against an inside wall. Get to the floor in seated position while protecting your head and your neck with your arms or objects. Stay away from windows. You don't want to get pieces of glass all over your face. Also, avoid heavy furniture or appliances as those things can fall on top of you.
You don't want to be in a kitchen when this disaster occurs. There are many dangerous items there, ranging from plates to even knives. Get out of there as fast as you can. However, do not run downstairs or rush outside when this disaster occurs. But instead, search for cover and duck under it. Remember, drop, cover, and hold.
That's when you are indoors. But what should you do when you are outside? Let's find out. Imagine this. If you're driving a car when an earthquake occurs, what should you do? First thing first, stay in your car. I know this sounds crazy, but stopping in the middle of the road can result in a car crash. Moreover, it's generally not a good idea to be on your foot in the middle of an earthquake when you are outside. Falling debris, wires, pieces of broken glass, dangerous lurk at every corner.
So, instead of panicking, calm yourself down and look for a clear space away from buildings, trees, and power lines. Avoid bridges and tumbling buildings. You cannot outdrive an earthquake. So instead of stepping on the gas pedal like a maniac, reduce your speed gradually so that you won't crash into another vehicle or people. Look for a clear space.
After you found a safe space, stay in your car and pull the handbrake. While you wait for the earthquake to cease, check the radio in case there's an instruction from the government or local authorities.
If you are not in any immediate danger, for example, stuck under a utility pole, then please don't call the emergency services. It is important to keep the lines clear so that emergency calls can go through and emergency personnel can communicate. Only use your phone if absolutely necessary.
But what if you are not in a car or on foot? Well, first, stay outside. Avoid crowds. Getting lost in the middle of panicking people is the last thing you want. Move away from buildings, utility wires, gas lines, and fuel. The greatest dangers from falling debris is just outside doorways and close to other walls of buildings.
If you bring a backpack, books, or any white object, use it to cover your head and protect yourself from falling debris and glass. Quickly go to an open area such as schoolyard, or parking lot. Then, wait for the earthquake to stop.
Now, let's get into a more specific situation. You know what to do in the middle of an earthquake. Drop, cover, and hold. But what if you're unable to do so? What if you have a disability and unable to move freely?
Worry not, you're not being left out. If you are using a wheelchair, first and foremost, lock your wheels. Then, remove any objects that are not securely attached to your wheelchair. Protect your head and neck using large book, pillows, or your arms. The goal is to prevent injuries from falling down or from objects that might fall or be thrown at you.
If you are unable to move from a bed, lie on your stomach and protect yourself from falling objects by covering up with blankets and pillows. If you have hearing disabilities, identify and test multiple ways to receive warnings and evacuation information prior to the earthquake. Don't forget, drop, cover, and hold.
Moving on to another specific situation, beach. It is a popular place to visit, so it's no wonder that some people were stuck there during an earthquake. If it's a small earthquake, then you don't have to worry. It's not big enough to create a tsunami. However, if it's a big earthquake, it is big enough to create a tsunami, and it's time to start running.
You only get a matter of minutes to get to the higher part. Don't worry about grabbing your swim fins and picnic basket. Just get your family and start running as far inland and as high as you can go.
You have survived the earthquake. Now what? If you are stuck under the debris, cover your mouth using handkerchief or clothing to help filter the air you breathe. Tap on the pipe or walls so that rescuers can locate you. Use a whistle if you had one. Do not shout. Shout only as a last resort so that you can minimize the amount of dust you inhale. Do not use matches, candles, or any flames. Broken gas lines and fire do not mix well.
However, if you are not trapped under the bridge, check yourself and others for injuries. Move away from damaged buildings. Check water, gas, and electric lines for damage. If any are damaged, shut off the valves. Check the smell of gas. If you smell it, open all the windows and doors. Leave immediately and report it to the authorities.
Expect aftershocks. Earthquakes are usually followed by a bunch of smaller earthquakes. Also, stay away from beaches. Tsunami sometimes hit after the ground has stopped shaking.
And those are the things you should do during and after an earthquake. Stay safe and don't forget the code. Drop, cover, and hold.
My name is Nathan.
And I'm Hilmi. Thank you for watching.